Welcome back to the first one up. I am your host, Bosco Shima. It is a pleasure to have you guys here again. And today I have a special guest for you guys. We met recently and we clicked because he also does content as well. And I want to have him on here because I think he has an interesting story. Today we have Dier. Welcome,
Hey
man.
guys.
How are you doing?
Very good, bro. What
Doing
about
great?
you?
I'm doing wonderful, man. Thank you so
Great.
much. Can you introduce yourself to the people?
Yeah. My name is Dior. I'm originally from Uzbekistan. Was born in Uzbekistan in a small town called Namangan. It's on the east of Uzbekistan on the border with Kyrgyzstan. Then at the age of 8, I moved to Moscow with my family. I lived 10 years in Russia. And then I moved to Austria for my bachelor's degree. And here I am on my exchange semester at Bentley. Besides of studying at university, I am entrepreneur. I'm working in educational market. I'm building an online school, and besides that, as Bosco mentioned, I am a blogger.
I know,
I'm working,
blogger. Of course, yeah.
I'm doing social medias. I have overall 20K subscribers on all of my social medias. Yeah, that's it.
Man, I feel like you need to help us at this point, you know? We're still growing as well. But, like, how is it? Like, you're in the U.S., you know, an exchange student.
Yeah.
How is it? Like, what's the culture shock?
In the US, first of all, after moving to Austria, and basically this is my third moving experience.
Right.
Because as a child I moved from Uzbekistan to Russia, from Russia I moved to Austria, from Austria I moved here for just one semester, for 6 months. But here the first thing that I basically realized is how open the American people are, the people who are living here, because in Austria people are kind of reserved. I wouldn't say that they are like closed or they're kind of negative to people who are from other countries, but they are more reserved. They tend to close themselves in their groups of like Austrians. Here I've just realized that everything works on communication, networking, exchange of experiences, and openness. And I experienced it at Bentley on campus, and also moving, because I've been to Boston, of course, because it's not that far away, Puerto Rico and DC. Everywhere it was a great experience, and I really like US. It was always a dream to come here, to travel, to get this like part of education here, because anywhere else, nowhere else in the world you cannot learn business as good as here.
Wow, that's actually crazy that you say that, because some people, like, you know, believe that their country provides the best education.
Yeah.
You know, but you think America provides
America
the best.
is the best place to learn business, finance. If we speak about finance and accounting, East Coast is the best, and I think we're in the right place for
Wow.
that.
Amen, man. Amen. That's amazing. What do you think has been the hardest part, though? About, is it academically, socially for you here at Bentley?
For me, it wasn't that complicated socially, because as I said, I had already experience of moving to a different country, and I just realized the most important skill to integrate into society, to find a new place in the country that you have no one in, is openness and willingness to communicate with others. Just be open, go to different events, try to meet people, communicate with them, speak up, don't be scared. And that is why I had no like problems with social interactions. But about academics, it was kind of more complicated, because I've never studied in English, and of course I learned it. I had like C1 certificate, and I started learning English when I was like 12, and I was in the process of learning it. But just how people study here and how basically professors teach here is completely different from Austria, where I study. Here I feel like the classes are way smaller, so basically it's like not more than 30 people. You communicate a lot with professor, you ask questions, you get answers, and this is just the thing. We don't communicate and contribute to the classes that much in Austria, because I feel like it's more like lectures. You just sit, you write down the notes, you're listening, and that's it.
Wow.
But here you are working more on getting the experience to communicate with the professor, with other people, network,
Yeah.
which is really important. I think like in the American culture, networking is like the base of it. It's like really important.
No, thank you for saying that as well. I feel like networking, we on this podcast, we talk about networking a lot. And I feel like it's just really something in common, we all have in common as like we need to network to get to places, you know? You come in here at Bentley, talking to professors, student, that's how we met. It was networking, you know? Somebody told me I gotta talk to you and I talked to you and, you know, we hit it off. And I think also me, like coming from Africa, right? I came here like, it was culture shock, the biggest I think I ever had. It was like everybody was just so like friendly. Everybody wanted to talk to you, and like I don't know English. I don't know what to say. I didn't know what to say, so I was just like confused, and like I was very shy at first because I don't know English. I don't know if somebody's gonna bully me, laugh at my language or my accent. But you talk normally. You're confident. I love that, and I think that's something I missed when I first got to America. It was like just being confident and like speaking my gibberish English. You say, but what mindset did you come with moving here? Because the mindset I came moving here was like, I'm gonna use this to the best of my abilities to be the best person I can be for my family and for people back home who are looking up to me. So what mindset did you come here with?
To US.
To the US, yes.
For me, first of all, it was just a dream as a child. I was always thinking about trying to live in the US, just getting to know the culture, because I think we all, people who are not living in the US, we all romanticize living in the US because the Hollywood films are basically like filmed here. The most music that we like listen to is American. The content that we consume is most of the times also produced here. And it was just the thing, the curiosity and the childhood's dream for me to come. And second of all, besides of dreaming, it was a specific goal of getting the great academic environment here at Boston. There's a lot of colleges here, and I wanted to meet as many people as I can, try as many things as I can, because besides of the actual studying at the university, I'm trying to do like some side quests like TED Talk that I've made.
Yes.
Different events as much as I can, because I think I feel the time pressure. Because of the 6 months, I feel like I have not like 4 years here, not the full time at university. That is why I'm trying to meet and try as many things that I can. And I think that motivates me the most. And I try to make the best out of the time, to juice it up and just try as many things that I can.
Wow.
And yeah, I think this is the two reasons. Great education, childhood's dream, improvement of English, of course, because it's also a great opportunity for me. These are the reasons,
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And I was gonna ask you, like the 6 months. Why 6 months? You keep saying like you're only here for 6 months. Can you tell us why you're here for 6 months?
Because I'm basically on my exchange semester right now. I'm studying full time in Austria, in Vienna.
Okay.
At WU Vienna, I'm studying in German, and as a part of my program, we can take one semester in different country, like starting from North Korea, and we can go to US, to Canada, to Japan, to European countries, to Middle East, a lot of different opportunities, and I chose US because of the reasons that I mentioned. And yeah, so basically I'm an exchange. That is why I have only like 6 months, and there is a time constraint.
Wow, that's amazing, man. And like that's why you're so eager to spend each day and every day to the best of your abilities, and try to enjoy everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. I think people don't do that enough. I think I'm grateful to be here for 4 years.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't enjoy every day or experience as much stuff as you're doing because I don't have that time, and I'm also like I live here. So I think that's something I need to work on as well. Just I'm blessed to be in America, to go to a great school. I should try as many things as I can before one day, everything goes collapse.
Yeah.
But that's amazing. But you also mentioned, we talked off camera, and you have businesses.
Yeah.
So you're in college and you also run 2 businesses. Tell me about the second business.
Yeah. As I turned 20, I started working on the second project.
Business?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was online school. That was based on So I should start off with the thing that online schools are one of the most competitive markets in the world, because you basically compete not only with other online schools, but you compete with like extremely big apps like Duolingo, and you also compete with the market of private teachers, which are like hundreds, thousands of people, or like millions.
I did not know.
And the if I had no agency at that moment, where we help people move from Russian-speaking countries where people don't speak German to Austria where people speak German and you basically study in German, I would never do that. But there was a gap in our agency that we couldn't help with. This is basically helping students with learning language. This is basically the process we couldn't help with. And with online school, we could cover everything with helping people move from one point to another. And we connected two businesses into one infrastructure. So while people were getting assistance from mentors with collecting all the documents, getting accommodation, getting applied to the university, our teachers helped students learn German. And this is basically, we covered the gap of language with that. And it started working well because we've had a good deal.
Deal with who?
Not a deal, how it's called in English. Like the tariff, like the
Tariffs.
Like tariffs, yeah, like a product, good product.
Okay, good
And
products. Okay.
Exactly, like a good product where we basically included the mentorship of moving to another country and learning German language. And that started working well, and it was expanding and growing because all other agency at that time had no schools, and we were like one of the first ones to open this niche school that basically helped students to move to learn German for the reason of moving to Austria. This basically was a real niche market, and every other schools, they mostly focused on just teaching German, but we were working with the special audience, targeted audience, and we were just pushing this audience, and we got the market. We've became one of the biggest on the market, and basically helping students to move and helping them learn German. And yeah,
Wow.
this is basically the whole system and how my businesses they work. And the only thing that I've left partnership with my partner this year, so I'm basically working only on my online school right now. And yeah.
How big is it? How like you scaled it up?
Yes, we started when I was 18. There was just me and my partner, and at the peak moment, we've had 15 employees.
Wow.
And yeah, starting with mentors, designers, marketing specialist, social media manager, accountant.
Right. That's amazing. What's the eager? Like, tell me, why did you want to create this business? I understand that you saw a gap,
Yeah.
and you went in and felt the need to fill that gap.
Yeah.
But why? Why do you want to scale a business? Why do you even want to build a business in the first place?
That was the biggest reason was, as we talked in the beginning, the immigrational process and the process of integrating into society. As I moved at the age of 17, 18 to Austria, I had no one in the country, and the process of integrating into society, finding the first friends, and at the same time, like collecting all the documents without having anyone in the country, don't know, I didn't speak German that well at that time. I didn't have anyone, I had no information, and I realized basically how difficult the immigrational process is and how difficult the integrational process is. So basically with agency, we've helped people to overcome the problems of immigration, getting the visa,
Right.
all the bureaucratic problems, all the documents. And with school, we've had group lessons. Basically, the people, the students, they were learning German in groups. That was not individual lessons. And in that process, they basically they've met people with the same goal of moving to Austria. They met each other, they connected with each other, and they moved together. So basically, they overcame the problem of integrational process. So we basically, the first reason why I've started this was my experience and realizing how hard it is to move to a different country.
Wow.
And with two projects, we've basically helped people to make it more smoother and easier and more fun.
Wow, that just warms my heart
Yeah.
because you saw a gap, but you didn't do it for the money. You did it for impact. You wanted to create an easier way for people to integrate from Russia to Austria, right?
Yeah.
And that's amazing because I feel like in business now, everybody's all about making money. I want to make money. I want to buy this car. I want to get this house.
Yeah.
But I feel like with everything that we do in life, it should be with value. We should
Exactly.
create value. We should create impact.
Yeah.
Because that's how the world grows and that's how we move. And that's, I feel like doing something good to somebody, it's just, it fulfills my heart personally,
Yeah.
Like, and I'm inspired by you because not only have you learned English on your own and, with, mentors, of course, but you were like, okay, I want to make a change for the kids who don't know English or who can't speak this language. I want to create a platform. I want to create a business that helps them.
Yeah.
I think that's a wonderful thing to do. Like, so how has that shaped you as you've grown? What have you learned, lessons you've learned, the struggles you've been through, trying to create that business and, growing and being an impactful person in your country?
The first key takeaway that I've had and the most important lesson that I think I've had in my life is everything that you do has to be full of your inner love. So basically what you want to do, so you need also to love that, enjoy that process, because otherwise you can be successful, of course, you can get your peak, you can get your money, cars, house, but at the end what matters is how happy you are. And if you're working on the thing, what makes you happy every day, and that was exactly what I felt. I was working extremely a lot amount of times. I was working from starting at the day and barely sleeping just to build that, because the whole process of building business is not easy. You start as a person who basically knows everything, nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
And this is the thing. When you start building something, you just have to realize that everyone starts with no knowledge at all. They
Nothing.
just start with no experience and the big desire to help other people, to create value, as we talked about.
Yes.
And that was the thing that I've been going through. And this is the first thing. Love what you do. Create the value out of your love, because out of your love, the happiness will come and the success will come, because with love comes the consistency. You won't do anything that you hate consistently, right? But if you love doing podcasts, right? Connecting the people, the experiences, and letting other people exchange these experiences online and get the knowledge and connect with people. This is the same thing. You love doing that. I've seen the YouTube. You have a lot of podcasts
Thank
already.
you so much.
And this is basically what you have to start with. Love. And with that will come consistency, success, and everything else.
Wow, no, thank you so much. I feel like I can agree with that. I've always preached this, if you don't do anything with love or a desire, that burning desire you feel to make change, to be impactful, to create value. Why would you want to build something that's just going to benefit you? Yeah. And then at the end, you're just miserable because you're not helping anybody. You're just being selfish, Yeah. And I think now in social media, nowadays, everybody is just I think they just do things just for them. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the most impactful people in our lives, they did it to create a problem. For example, Amazon fixed the problem of me not having to stand up and go get go buy something,
Exactly.
He fixed that problem. Microsoft, the computers, you fixing a problem brings so much more,
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to ask you, right? What is what makes Austria different from America? Like mindset, or student, people. What's something different about Austria and America?
Uh, I think the biggest difference is how people move. This is basically how what people uh, the main difference between American students and Austrian students in the it's the pace of doing something. I feel like in the US, students, at least here at Bentley, they are really motivated to build something, to get an internship, to get to corporate like life, try new things, get a job, and then maybe build something if they want. And I think in Austria, this is like more people are more chill and students are more chill. They're like just enjoying the time. They are learning new things, and it is okay in Europe to start working after 25, like after 26, and moving from your parents' house later. I think it's culturally more acceptable, as for example in our countries, like in Russia, in Uzbekistan. When you turn 18, you're like, go away.
Go. Actually,
Go work. Yeah, and
wow.
this is basically why we get adults that quick. I feel like in the scale of like going out of your parents' house, the first place is like Russian-speaking countries, because in our cultures, this is shaped really, really strongly that you have to move from your parents' house as soon as possible to get your first money as soon as possible. That is why people tend to marry earlier, they tend to have kids earlier. And I think in Europe it's more slow paced. And that's not bad. I feel like that is why they enjoy life more, because I go out, I see people enjoying the moment, like laying on the grass, going out with the dog. When I'm going out, like in Boston, I feel like everyone are running somewhere.
Go.
In New York, same thing. In Moscow, same thing. In big countries that are basically focused on business
Yeah.
and corporate and money, people tend to enjoy the moment less. And this is the thing that we can learn from European people, the people from Europe. They can enjoy the momentum. They basically can enjoy the time that they have. They don't run. They just there. They're living in the moment.
Wow, that's
This is
amazing. I think that's something we need to learn as also here out in the West. I think to understand, to enjoy the moment, because now it's everything is all about the next thing.
Yeah.
It's all about like, I want to get an internship. I want to do this. I want to graduate with this.
Yeah.
They never really take time to like really be grateful for what they have and be grateful to live in this country, be grateful for the opportunities that this country brings, you know? And do you think that has helped you when you came here? That mindset of just being chill, laid back, and maybe not taking things too fast. But you did tell me that you're trying to 6 months.
Yeah.
But like that mindset from European countries to here, do you think that has helped you?
I feel like this part of this cultural aspect of Europeans, I didn't take that out. I am that person like Americans, like people from my countries. I feel like I have to do something. I have to work on it. I cannot stop. I have to provide for my family. I have to like find my love. I have to. This is the thing that is like culturally in
you.
in me, because
Why? Like it's some like did you go through struggles like the major? Because you're like right now talking to you, you want to do more. You want to create. You want to do this. Is there something that happened when you were like young, or did you grow up? Like why do you have that desire?
I think that I have a main role in my head. My mom. So basically, the story is I grew up without a father, and as I was 6, my mom, she moved from Uzbekistan to Russia to work there as a waitress, because at that time Uzbekistan was economically not stable, and there was a big crisis, and there was not a lot of opportunities to get a job. Of course, even not even how it's called in English. especially especially in my small town. And my mom, at the age of she gave birth, she had me as she was 19.
Wow.
And as she was 25, she was also really young. She moved to Russia. She worked almost 12 days off as a waitress. And after 10 years working, she opened her own business, her own restaurant.
Wow.
And this is the thing, I think this is the reason why I want to create my own project. This is the reason why I want to become financially free as soon as possible. Because I feel like my mom gave me the vision how you should be, and that hard work pays off at the end. There is no people, there is no such person who worked extremely hard 24/7 on his goal and didn't accomplish them.
Wow.
If you work, genuinely work with love, as we talked about, with consistency, you will get there. And this is the thing. And I enjoy doing that. I enjoy being in this fast pace. Maybe in some moments I don't enjoy the moment as much as European people, but I feel like this is the thing that I feel is the best for me, and this is the thing of, this is the the willingness to be as hardworking as my mom and pay her off for everything that she has done for me and sacrificed for me.
Of course, I think we share a similar passion, man. I love my mom. You know, shout out to all the moms out there. Yeah, like I feel like they did so much, and my dad as well. Both my parents, both, you know, they worked so hard and they established the foundation of hard work for me. And some people might think it's crazy, but I want to be delusional about my goals and like where I want to be in life, so I can show them like, thank you, mom and dad, for getting me here. Like let me retire you guys. Like that's the ultimate goal, and I feel like every person has that drive in them. But it's so much pressures, you know, it's so much pressures around us, and I feel like you went through a lot, you know, growing up, you know, and I feel like you've worked so hard to get up to this point. But I know one time you wanted to quit. Like, was there a time that you wanted to quit and you were like, okay, I think I give up, but there's no point. But why didn't you not quit?
Of course, there was such moments. Of course, starting with moving to Austria, there was the times where when my application was almost denied to get the visa to Austria, and I remember that I got the email from an embassy that basically said that I have to provide extra documents for getting my visa, and in that moment I realized that because of that I cannot get the visa at the right time to come to Austria and register for the semester. So I basically lost 1 year because of this thing. This is also the reason why I've realized how hard it is to move to a different country. At this moment, when I'm a person who also have to serve in the military.
You have to serve?
No, I'm just gonna tell the full story.
Okay.
I'm the person who are at the age that can be basically sent to the army to serve in the military. And in Russia, it's kind of strict. And at that moment, I was broken at all. I was really depressed. I think that was the darkest moment of my life.
Wow.
Realizing that how hard it was to learn German, to getting all the documents, to trying to get their own time, because I also graduated from my high school earlier than I had to, because I wanted to move to Austria. I needed to get all the certificates from my school earlier, and I have worked with my parents extremely hard to get to Austria as soon as possible. And at that moment, everything crashed. Everything was down, and at that moment, I wanted to quit. I feel like that was really the most painful and the most darkest experience that I've had in my life.
And why did you quit?
I realized that I always had such a mindset. If you start something, you have to
And finish it.
you have to finish it, exactly.
Wow.
And I also I have known that that was the dream of my life, to get a great education, to move to Austria because I love this country, and this is the reason why I didn't quit. This is the reason why I've been in Russia for the 6 months, and then I moved to Austria, and I've started my new chapter.
Wow, man, that's inspiring. That's nothing short of inspiration. Thank you for sharing that with us. And I'm sorry that you went through all that, you know.
It's fine.
But you made it here, and I feel like that says a lot about you as a person.
Yeah.
You're willing to go through it, through the storm,
Yeah.
and now you're here.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. What do you think what's one piece of advice that you would tell somebody who's like you, such as yourself, in another country, trying to come here and study, or just trying to just break out of that like shell? You know, I think a country can feel like a shell, your city can feel like a shell, and your home can feel like a shell. But someone wants to get out of the world and see the world and experience as much as they experienced. What would you tell them?
The most important thing is don't be scared. This might sound cliche, but I think most of the times, and I've talked about this on my TED Talk, I've talked about fear. I feel like not the failure stops people, the fear of failure does.
Wow.
And I feel like people, most of the times, they feel like they are not enough, they are not smart enough, they are not good enough. And yeah, I'm gonna stay in my hometown, in my home country. Okay, I will just try to find something there. But inside them, their hearts, inside themselves, they basically have this dream that they don't accomplish at the end, and this feeling throughout the life that like kills you, because this is the most painful thing, the feeling of
Regret?
the regret that you didn't try
Or take action?
take action as you were young, because we are all young.
Yeah.
We basically have
All the
nothing.
time.
Our asses are naked. I don't know, do you say that in English or not? We have nothing. We say in Russian that our asses are like
We have nothing.
naked. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And at that time you have to try. You have to do like stupid decisions. You have to try to do something what seems unrealistic. You have to do something that you really want to do, and fear should not stop you.
Wow.
This is the thing. Might sound cliche, but I think this is the most important thing. You have to work on your confidence. You have to work on realization that you're worth it. You are the person who deserves it, and you're enough.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I think, thank you so much for saying that. I think it touched me too. I think I was so afraid, man. Like, this was born in me just like rising, like I'm done with the fear. Because this idea to have conversations like this, it was in me since I was 14, you know, 14, 13, I would tell my friends, hey, one day, man, I'm gonna start a podcast and I wanna just talk and yap and talk about like real situations and like real life things that we go through and ideas that we may have, you know. But man, I didn't start like I just, people are gonna laugh at me.
Yeah.
Who's gonna watch it? You know. But I think once I got to college and I'm like, all my peers are doing something and they're not shy, they're not scared. It might be cringy to me, but somebody out there wants to watch it.
Exactly.
You know. So you have to. I think one thing also, like, you have to work. And be like, you're not working for your friends to like cheer you up. You're working for somebody out there to be impacted, somebody to be inspired. So that's why when I got here, I was like, you know what? I have nothing to lose, you know?
Yeah.
Just go for it. And
Exactly.
you know, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you too,
It's an amazing story, and you're gonna inspire a lot of people, man. And like, I hope you continue to keep working. And your business, how is it going on now? You still have 15 employees, or?
Yeah, I have
Wow.
employees still in my school, and
Wow.
yeah, it's
That's
really
that's
good.
amazing,
Yeah.
man. Like, listen, thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
It was a pleasure to even like talk to you and hear your story and your advice. But before we go, we always ask our guests this. Like, I know you give advice and whatnot, but if there's one piece of advice that you would like to give our viewers and our peers here at Bentley University and around the world, what would it be?
Get your ass up and go start doing what you really want to do.
Wow,
This is the thing.
simple like that.
This is the thing. Yeah.
That's amazing, man. Thank you so much. And then one more question for me, and to put yourself out there as well.
Yeah.
How can people, our viewers, or anybody support what you're doing? What do they like? How can they find you? Like,
You can find my Instagram in the description.
of course, there. Okay.
And this is the thing. This is my main like media where
Right.
I am always there, posting stories and
course.
posting reels,
Yeah.
and trying to also inspire people
course.
as you do,
Right.
going after their goals and accomplishing them. Yeah. So basically, you can find my Insta there.
Thank you so much.
Thank
It
you,
was a pleasure, man. You have a wonderful journey, and we're thank you so much for inviting us to be a part of that journey. And keep going, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Thank
It was
you.
a pleasure.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much.